In this video lesson, we're going to continue on with our look at the Change Velocities command in Pro Tools, and let's go to Event, Event Operations, and Change Velocity. And in this video segment, we're going to take a look at the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options here, where we've got Set All, Add, Subtract, Scale By, Change Smoothly, and Change Smoothly by Percentage. So what we're working with here, let's just hit play. We've got a piano just hammering away on some 16th notes there. And let's go take a look at our velocity lane. Let's switch to notes view so we can grab some notes. And then velocity, down arrow there. And let me just grab a note here, or velocity stick. And you'll notice when I click on that, the number that appears right above is 64. Okay? And I have all these set to 64 for a reason, and it's because it's a number that comes up in MIDI quite a bit. So just as a reminder again, my range of velocity is 127 for the loudest, 1 for the softest. So I've got a range of 127. Let's put that back to 64. And if I go and grab my calculator and I take 127, divide that by 2, I get 63.5 or 63.5. And when I'm working with MIDI numbers, I don't have any. I'm limited to whole numbers, so I can't have a 0.5 there. So that's why I've chosen 64. It's kind of rounding up to 63.5 to 64. Often we'll see the median rounded down to 63. So 63 and 64 are numbers that come up a good bit in MIDI. And just to show you where, I've created a MIDI track right here. And as I pan, let's move that up. There we go. When I pan left and right, notice that the center is 0, and I'll pan all the way to the left of this track, and you'll notice the number 64 comes up. And when I pan all the way to the right, the number 63 comes up. So anyway, those numbers 63, 64 kind of mean halfway someplace, and this, this is the center, and here we're going halfway of that split of 127 all the way to the left, all the way to the right, and because we don't have any fractional numbers, we're limited to whole numbers. So anyway, that's where those numbers can also come up, but anyway, 63, 64 kind of shows halfway some way, or panned all the way left, all the way right. It can come up a number of different ways, it just depends on your DAW, okay? Let's scoot that out of the way. And here in the change, you can see that the default for setting all to is 64 in Pro Tools. Okay, so now that we've covered that a little bit, let me go and hide this track, get that out of the way. All right, let's go ahead and start working through some of these options here, and let's just grab all the notes in the track and set all to 127. There we go. Okay, so if you just want to make everything as loud as possible, that's the way to do it. Just set all to. Now, if you say, let's try backing those off a little, we can use the subtract feature. That would be one thing we could do. So we could subtract by, let's just go 18 and say, well, let's see how that sounds. All right, so maybe that works better in your track. Let's come back and let's add 10 to that. And we can go that way as well. All right. Once we've got them all set or all the notes selected, one thing you can do is, of course, just drag them all up and down. So just select all the notes and just grab any one of the velocity diamonds and just drag it up and down. And right now, when you grab them, you'll see the number 0 right there. That's not the 0 velocity. That means you haven't moved anything up or down yet. So right now I'm going down 1. Right now I'm down 30. And there I'm back to 0, up 3, 4, 5, etc., that type of thing. Okay? So set all to, add, subtract. Let's do scale by here. I'm going to set them back to 64 again. So let's go ahead and let's make it easy on ourselves. 64, set all to, bang, get that. There we go. We're back to 64. Okay, let's scale by. If I scale by, let's put it to 100% here. Let's put that in. If I scale by 100%, all the notes are selected. Let's go and apply that. And you can see that nothing happens. 100% is a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay? So if we want to double these, let's just go ahead and go up to, let's try 200%, see what we get there. And sure enough, We went from 64, and let's see where they are now. We're at 127. Okay, so it doubled those to their maximum velocity. Actually, 64 and 64 is 128, but because our biggest number is 127, it just maxed them out at 127. Okay, so scale by, if we wanted to grab these notes and scale them back, we can scale them back by 50%. And it should scale them back to, scale by 50%. And it should scale them back to, well, 63 or 64. So those, those 63, 64 numbers are going to come up again. We were at 127. We can't divide 127 equally by 2, so put them down to 63. All right, let's stay where we are there. Let's change smoothly. If we want to just do a crescendo, well, we can change smoothly from 1 to 127. And there we've got a crescendo. We can also change smoothly by percentage. We can change smoothly from 1% to 200%. Let's see what we get there. All right. So it lowered them, the lowest one down to 1, all the way up to the highest, 127. We can also have fun with that, and we can include a curve as well. So you can see with my curve, all the change comes at the front, and then there's less change at the back end, like that. So an easy way to build crescendos would change smoothly, change by percentage. If you just have velocities all over the place, you can always just scale by if you want to scale them back. In other words, if they're not all set to one number, or if you just want to scale everything back, add, subtract, set all to. So it just depends creatively what you're trying to do. So I think you know the options now, and just it'll be hopefully you'll have some fun and interesting times applying them in different and creative ways. Okay, we'll continue on with change velocities, limit to, and randomize in the next video.